Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Whoa, greetings and salutations, you awesome motherfuckers. It's good to see all of you again. It is your pal, Chris, aka Mr. Ramon 420, and I'm back after the Thanksgiving Day weekend. Hopefully all of you people in America had a nice time. If not, sorry about that. As you can see, I'm getting myself into the Christmas spirit. I got my lights up, I got my 4-foot tree that I assembled thanks to Walmart, and some presents. Some that I got for myself, and a few my friends sent me some gifts I wrapped up and put underneath the tree, and I thought, okay, cool. So, if any of you out there are interested in getting Mr. Ramon 420 some gifts, I got a few suggestions for you. Actually, two. Pod related, and also movies. I'm just kidding. You don't have to send me anything. That would be awesome if you could. But I'm not going to be talking to you about that right now. Today I'm going to be talking to you about another revenge film that I found out, and I heard it was really good. A couple of my friends suggested I should check it out. It comes from director Christopher Bickle, and it is entitled The Theta Girl, starring Victoria Donofrio and Shane Silman. It's basically, it's a revenge film that is a little bit sad, a little confusing, and really, really fucking weird. So, why don't we take this journey together and see what The Theta Girl is all about? Alright guys, so the film begins like a gritty grindhouse feeling to it. And you feel like you're in a dark and disturbed world. And in the process, you're introduced to the girl Gayce, played by Victoria Donofrio. She's walking through the streets, she's looking for a supplier, to which you figure out, she's a drug dealer, selling the Theta pills. And she meets up with the supplier, explains to him, like, listen, I need this. And he tells her, listen, you gotta be careful. The people that make these pills are dangerous. You do not want to fuck with them. And she brushes it off. She says, fuck it. I want to make this world a better place. And he doesn't understand, because it's like, you're dealing with these drugs. How is it making a better place? And you'll find out. You'll see. And he doesn't understand like me. And I didn't know him so much later, where you're like, oh, okay, that's an interesting concept. She leaves that conversation where she comes across a bunch of religious fanatics. One of them is named Brother Marcus, played by Shane Silman. And Brother Marcus stops Gayce on the road and it's like, listen, I know you. And she tells him to fuck off. And he gets upset. So he drags a couple of his dickweed religious fanatics with him to follow her where she goes. Then we move on to meeting her best friend Leonard. Alright guys, so now we're introduced to Leonard, and there's a few problems with Leonard. He's mute, and unfortunately he's homeless. But Gayce loves Leonard so much, and he has an adorable dog. Now they come up with a good process for selling the drugs Gayce and Leonard have. Gayce is going to sell the drugs in a bar that's right next to Leonard's little shad or shack or whatever you want to call it. So she sells the drugs, and he gives the people the drugs outside. It's a good concept. It works really well for both of them. And then we're introduced to Gayce's band. Now Gayce's the manager of this group. It's an all-female band entitled The Truth Foundation, and they're really good. Kind of almost punk hard rock feel to it. And they're also given the Theta drug one by one to get them ready for the night. And this process continues with not only the band, but everyone else in the bar. Now, here's the weird thing about the drug. Whenever anyone takes the drug, the camera shakes, or there's a really good edit towards it, like, as if they're getting ready to go into the next world. But unfortunately, the asshole religious fanatics come to the bar, and they're ready to preach to everyone, including the bartender. And the bartender says, listen, let me give you some sodas. Unfortunately, he drugs the sodas by putting the Theta drug in the Cokes. And this doesn't work out really well for them. Now, some of you are asking, Chris, what's so special about the theater drug? Here's the thing. At a certain point, when you're really into it, it takes you to another world where you're introduced to, let's call her a traveler or God. Either way, it's an omnipotent being who knows everything. Like, she knows, Gayce, and she knows everyone else. And for a lot of people, this is a higher level of existence for them. Except for the people in the religious right. Brother Marcus gets a bad mojo from this shit. So bad. I'll explain the situation later. It will come up, don't worry. So the set's done, everyone leaves, and there's an orgy, like full nude orgy going back at the True Foundation's place where Gayce lives. And she hands out her money, and she's having a good time. It works really well, and apparently you find out the head singer of the other band that was right next to the True Foundation has a interest in Gayce, as almost if they were together, or they're just really good friends. Who knows? Everyone has a nice night. They go to bed. Then the next morning comes around. So it's the next day, and Gayce decides she's going to go visit her best friend Leonard. Unfortunately, Leonard's dead. Leonard's been dismembered, blood all over the place. It's really saddening to see, because unfortunately the dog's nowhere to be found. So Gayce decides she's going to call up her supplier, gets in contact with him. He arrives. She says it's got to be boss is dead to dishonor, and he tells her, it's like, no, it isn't. The bosses don't give a shit about this. And she says, well, it must be the enemies of your bosses. And he tries to explain to her, listen, the bosses don't have anything to do with the death of Leonard. And she's thinking bullshit, so she forces him at gunpoint to go and visit the bosses. And that's what they do when we arrive at the bosses. The bosses are an old hippie couple who have been taking drugs for a long fucking time. I mean, they're ready for anything. It's a interesting sight to see. Unfortunately, things go so well, and the bosses die in the process. I won't explain how, but it's an interesting way to go, I say. So then, Gayce thinks, okay, if it's not them, it's got to be someone else. I got to go find my friend and tell him she knows she's going to be with his band, the band that's rival to the True Foundation. Unfortunately, she doesn't get there on time, and all the members of the band have been dismembered. It's gory and blood's all over the place. I think one guy's dick is actually in his mouth. She actually finds her good friend who's laid out on the lawn outside, and she finishes him off just to make sure he doesn't die in pain. And then she realized, okay, if they went after this band, they're going to go after the True Foundation. She has her and the supplier to go find the True Foundation, and she realized, oh, it's not anyone we know, but it's the religious assholes, Brother Marcus and his two dickhole morons. Unfortunately, and this is where you find out that, oh yeah, the religious assholes are doing this because they want the world to be cleansed of this evil. And fortunately, they're the evil ones that are fucking shit up. So they decide, okay, we need to continue this. We need to kill these people. And we also need to kill Gayce, which doesn't make sense. And the reason that it's just, you're watching like, okay, that's really confusing. So unfortunately, the three religious fanatics go after and they kill the majority of the band. They leave one, slowly dying because Gayce and the other guys showed up to stop the religious assholes, to finish them up. And then for the rest of the film, Gayce's trying to find the religious fanatics, the one in particular, Brother Marcus, and stop them and take her revenge on, these martyrs. And that's what the rest of the film is. And it becomes a long process of trying to find him. But the ending is kind of therapeutic, but a bit confusing to be for sure. And now it's time to let you know what I thought of it. Alright guys, so now let's let you know what I thought of it. It was bizarre. There's some weird shit to it. I definitely think this would be a gem, like a hidden gem. It's going to be a cult classic because of how strange the traveler character is, and how she's really connects all the other characters together, and it works really well. There are some parts to it that are way too long. Also, the connection between Brother Marcus and Gayce didn't make too much sense, because it was trying to connect this part with this part, and instead of this, it went this way. So you miss out on what could be a really good connection and a really good story. It takes away from it, and which is a shame. The directing was really good. I thought Victoria Donofrio came off as a hard ass and worked really well with it. Brother Marcus, aka Shane Silman, did a good job, and if he was coming off and meant to be an asshole, it worked. But yeah, there were parts that were here and here and here and here and here, and they didn't intertwine. Some things work better than others, including there's a scene where the supplier who isn't in the process of kills a character, and you don't understand why. I mean, it's like, just thought I would do it. No, that's not really. It doesn't work. But I gotta say, this was shot for $14,000. Now, a budget that small usually doesn't work. But this, Streets of Vengeance, they both had really small budgets, and I gotta say, it works. It does really well. Like the effects, the editing, everyone seemed to have a nice, fun time enjoying themselves. Oh, and I will let you know, there was a lot of nudity in this. Some male junk. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. You gotta put in there, you gotta put in there. But this film will definitely be a cult classic. Kind of like Streets of Vengeance. It works really well, and it's got a good insight on what it wants to do. And I can picture Christopher building, being creative more and more throughout the year. So I'm looking forward to see what else he does. So yeah, some parts works, other parts not so much. As I said, the connection between Gayce and Brother Marcus, and when Brother Marcus was getting ready to fight, that took forever, way too long. And there were some scenes didn't make sense, especially when one person died, and that took forever. It didn't make sense, and you didn't really need it. But for a lot of you, I would definitely say check it out, give it a shot, see what you think. As I said, the Theta Girl is gonna be a hidden gem that people are gonna catch it on, like, oh, okay, check it out. And for what it did, for only $14,000, nice job, great job, Christopher. I'll give you guys a link to where you can purchase your copy, probably on Amazon, because that's where I got it. I'll also send you the trailer, and when you get a chance, be sure to log on to my Facebook page, where you'll be able to catch up on what's going on, and it'll be the best place if you want to contact me, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on there, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. Guys, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Hopefully, this schedule of doing my reviews and videos on Mondays is working out. I appreciate it. In the future, I've been thinking about doing a live one-on-one Q&A chat on YouTube. If you think that would be interested in you, if you want to take a look at it, let me know. I'd love to find out. Okay, guys, you take care. Next week I'll be talking about another short film from Samuel Vinici. I've talked about him before. You take care. I love you all. Until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. See ya.